we are trying to record the meeting now. All right, so you can start now.
All right. So thank you for that. So we want to create some KPIs, right? So I'm going to, and by KPI is just trying to create values that a stakeholder want to see, like maybe what's the total amount spent, maybe total number of customers. It could be total quantity of goods sold. So based on this data set we have, so the KPIs we'll be creating will just basically be, total amount spent, total quantity of goods sold. We could do average price. Should we, does that give? We could do an average price per unit, and trying to understand maybe total number of customers, right, and total transactions that was done. So we have about five. So let me just list them out somewhere. Yes, I'm going to say we want to do total amount spent, total amount spent, total amount spent. So we also want to do total customer, total customers. We also want to do total, let me just say total transaction or transaction count. So we will just give it a better name. And another thing we want to do is average price per unit, right? So let me say average price per unit. And what else? So total quantity sold. Have I written something? Okay, total quantity sold. So total quantity sold. So these are the 5 KPIs we want to do. So I'm going to come over here now, and for me to get this total amount spent, right, I just need to sum up all this column G, right? So I just need to sum up best practice when trying to create, KPI is using what we call a measure, right? So we can think of a measure like a container, right, that you use to store value. Like for those, when a measure is just like a variable, right, whereby it is holding a value. So we're just going to create measures that is going to be for total amount spent, total customer, total transaction, and for all these 5 KPIs. And to do that, I will just come over to this think this data set. Yes, this retail sales, right? Click on it and click on add measure, right? We want to create a measure. You come to the table name, which is this retail store, right? Click on it, then click on add measure. Then you type in the measure name. So the first one I want to create is total amount spent. So I'm going to say total amount spent. Then no need to, like, I'm just going to now enter the formula. So total amount spent is just like sum, right? So I'm going to say sum, right? Sum of so sum of where is the total amount, sum of where is it? Yeah, total spent. So I'm going to select this, right? And I'm going to close the bracket. Now we can check if this calculation is prone or error. So I'm just going to click on check DAX formula and see if the formula is actually correct. So I'm going to click on this, so you can see it tells me that this formula has no error. So it's giving us a value. So I'm going to click on OK, right? So I have created, if I scroll down, I can see the total amount here, which has been created. If I should open up this small, so you see the name here is total amount spent. So I'm going to create something similar to total customer, right? And if you remember, so this is the total customer. If I should click on it, I should be able to see some summary statistic. The only thing is showing here is just the count, right? Let me see. Let me right click and see to add. Okay, it's showing average distinct, okay, minimum and numeric count. So I'm going to basically do a distinct count to get the customer, because I think when we're in our Power Query editor, I think there were about 25. Yes, that's what it's showing here. So we already know the number of customers at 25. So I'm going to come over here and still create add create new measure, then right click again and say add measure. Right, then I'm going to say total customer, total customers, then I'm going to come here and say um distinct count, right? Um so count distinct count of customer ID, right? So it's going to be distinct count of customer ID. Because if you do a normal count of customer ID, it's going to give you 1,000, I mean 11,000 plus, right? But this distinct count, what it does, just remember like when we were explaining Power Query, difference between distinct and unique, right? Like which out of all these customers that are responsible for all this transaction, how many of them, I mean, just will I say peculiar to that they are just, I mean, alone. Distinct just basically mean a something that is standing alone, right? So you would see that if you look at the values in this, let me for cancel this. So if you let me cancel this. So if you look at this, you can see customer 22, I can see 23, I can see 23 here. I can see you can see no, I mean more of this customer appearing, their customer ID appearing multiple times, right? So distinct count is just once you have counted one, if you see it again, you don't need counting it because you already have, I mean, another you have an initial occurrence of that ID. So distinct count just counts, I mean, those distinct values. So I'm going to come over here again, add the new measure and call it total customer. So total customer, total customers. Right, then say distinct count. So distinct count. Then I come over to customer ID. Then I close it. If I had not close the bracket and I click check DAX formula, I see it's going to tell me that the formula is invalid or incomplete. The expression is not valid, blah blah blah. The end of the input was reached. So it's just going to tell you, but once I put in the correct, I know that a bracket is opening this, so definitely there should be a closing bracket. So once I put that in and I click on check that, you see there's no error in the formula. So we have created two of the measures, which is total amount spent and total customer. So we have total transactions, like how many transactions do we have? And looking at the data set, right, you would see what shows us transaction that happened is this transaction ID. So if we are able to count the distinct transaction ID, that should give us the total number of transactions that happened. So I'm going to come over here and right click again on this table and click on add measure. I then call it total transaction. Total transaction, total transactions. So then I come over here since it's a total, so it's going to be a sum, right? No. Now the formula we want to use now, I mean the column we want to use for this calculation is the transaction ID. So we are going to basically count each of those transaction ID. So it's not a sum. We are going to do a distinct count, right? And the difference between a distinct count and count is going to count how many rows or values you are seeing there. But a distinct count is going to ensure that once you've counted an occurrence of an input that is happening that you can see that feature. If it occurs again, it won't count it again because it has a copy of that already. So I'm going to do a distinct count of where is it, the transaction ID, um, transaction ID. So yes, this is it, transaction ID. Then I'm going to close it up and check it, and I see it's free of error. Then I click on OK. So I've created the three measure. So we have two more to go, which is average price per unit and total quantity sold. So the average price per unit is still the same thing. Right click, add new measure, right, then name it average. I'm just going to say average um price per unit. Right, so I'm going to come here and come and say I'm going to use the average now. Right, so I'm going to use the average. Then I'm going to come over to the price per unit column, right, and close the bracket and check if it is so it is free of error. All right, then I'm going to click on OK. So the one more to go, which is the total quantity sold. So I'm going to do the same thing, right click, add measure, right, give it, come to the measure name, put the name total quantity sold, total quantity sold, then come over here and put in the formula total quantity sold. Now I want to do a sum of each of those quantities. So it's going to be a sum, right? Sum, right? I put click on sum, then quantity sold. Come over to the quantity column, click on it. Then I'm going to check it if it's free of error. Then I commit it, which is click on OK. Now I have the five what's it called? Measures, which is the total amount, this, and this. So I'm going to clear this, right? So before I continue, are we able to replicate what we are seeing? Can I just get the response before I continue? Okay. Yeah, Glory, Tolulope, Ayodele, Omolola. Um, I believe I've not lost anyone.
No, sir.
All right.
No, sir.
So I believe we are able to replicate whatever is being done.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So we have created this measure, right? So these measures we created are going to form our KPIs, which we are going to be using. So I'm just basically going to um check this box. Okay. All right. So I'm going to check these five boxes. I'm going to check it. Click the first one. All right. Click the second one. Click the third one. Click the fourth one, and click the last one. So we can see our KPIs here. Right. We can see. Let me reduce this. So you can see our KPIs here. The total amount spent, right? The total customer, the total transactions, average price per unit, total quantity sold. So we can see them here. So we have created, this is going to form our KPI. So let me just rename it and come over to pivots, analyze, come to this drop down, right? Instead of pivot one, I'm going to call it KPI. And the essence of this is so that whenever I'm doing applying filter, so I know, okay, if there is any specific visualization I don't want to apply filter on, I can easily, with the name I've defined, I can easily know, okay, whether I should apply filter on this. So we have created our KPIs, right? We've created, um, payments method, by total spent, total amount spent by payments method. So we're also going to do total amount spent by day of week, right? We want to see if maybe a particular day of the week, brought in more sales, right? So I'm going to just duplicate this since it has something similar. I'm going to copy it. You highlight and copy, then come somewhere else, right? And just paste it. Then I'm going to hit on my escape key, right? Then I'm going to click on this new one I copied. Then I'm going to remove the, transaction month. I'll leave the sum of total spent. So I'm going to remove the transaction month. Right now, I'm going to put in transaction day, right? So transaction day. So I'm going to click on it. So now this I can automatically see that from the look of things, it seems Friday is driving more sales, right? So we are going to convert this to a visualization that we can easily see the values rather than having it um, in accordingly. So let me see the same thing we did, the same way we ordered this, the month of the year. So let's see if we can do something similar to this. So I'm going to click on more sort. So what I want to do is you can see it's ranks is according to the from the highest, right? But I want to order it based on maybe Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So let me see if that is obtainable. So I'm going to click on this row label. That's the way we did for this month. So I'm going to click on the row label, right? Then I'm going to click on more sorts options, right? Then I'm going to click on ascending A to Z, right? Then come to more option, then click on more option. Then I'm going to uncheck this sort automatically, right? Then I'm going to click on these and see, so I can see Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So I'm going to select that, right? Then click on OK, right? Then I'm going to click on OK. So you see, it has ordered it according to the way it is in our calendar: Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So I've done that. So we have one, two, three. So another thing I want us to do is let's try to see um, the proportion of discounts. I mean, maybe if more of the um, transaction that happened where, I mean, maybe it was maybe the one we did with that we're giving discount are more compared to that which we're not giving discounts. So we are going to do a, since we've counted the transaction, right? So we already have we've created a measure that counts each of these transactions. Now we want to know, since we can see that the total transaction is 11362. So we want to know, out of this 11,362, how many of the transactions has discount applied, right? So we are going to just, I'm going to copy this, right? Just copy, come somewhere here, paste, then click on escape. So let me just rename this pivot table. I'm going to select this pivot table, then come to pivot, analyze, then come to the left hand side here where I have this pivot table. Then I'm going to drop it down. Then I'm going to rename it to total spent by day. So I'm going to click on OK. Then we want to change this to see the proportion of amount of discount given, right? So I'm going to click on this and remove each of these. I can just come here and just uncheck them, uncheck total spent, uncheck transaction day. So I'm going to bring in the two features that is needed. But before I do that, just a confirmation that we are still following.
Yes, sir.
All right, yeah, thank you for that confirmation. So remember what we want to do. We want to see, out of these 11,362 transactions, how many of them has discount applied to them, how many of them does not have. So I'm going to bring in the measure of total transaction. I think this is it. So I'm going to select it, total transaction, which is 11,362. Now I'm going to click on discount applied. Right. So we can already see that from this, we have that force as 7,000 plus and true as 3,000. So I'm going to, I don't need the grand total, right? I'm going to remove the grand total, right? Click it and remove grand total. All right. I want to format this, right? I want to change this value. So let me click on it, right? I want to format this value, and I want to use it in terms of percentage. So let me select percentage and see. Okay, no, undo, Ctrl Z. I'm going to so come to pivot and analyze. I want to convert that to be a what's it called, percentage of total, right? So let me come to this value where I have this total transaction. Let me so what we are going to do to change, we want to change this to percentage of total. So clicking on this drop down, coming to value field settings, right? So I'm going to come over to show value as let me click show value as percentage of grand total, right? MC. Okay, and so we can see the percentage. The out of the 100%, 66.5%, I mean, were false, and 33.45% were for true. So I can still try to limit it to one decimal place, right? So let's try to reduce the decimal place. So number format, let's reduce it to one decimal place, drop it down, then I say okay. So it has been reduced to one decimal place. So I believe we got how we were able to arrive at converting this to percentage of total. Is there anyone who was unable to get how we did that? Okay, I think I'll be for us to take our silence as that we understand, right? So we understood that we're able to convert this. Okay, so we're able to understand that we converted the total transaction to percentage of total. So we already have one, two, three. Let's see another one that we can create so we can start building the dashboard. So the last one we might want to do is let me see how many categories we have. Um, let me see. So we have okay. So let's create total spent or total quantity sold by categories. Yes, let's do that. So total quantity sold by category. So I'm going to copy this. Let me just copy this guy. Control C. Come below here. S. Control V. Oh, Control C. Right. Come here. Control V. Then hit on the escape key. Then select this. I want to do not payment method this time. I want to do category right now, not total spent. So I want to see how many quantity were sold for each of these product category. So I'm going to click on um where is the quantity, right? Or I could just simply use the measure total quantity, right? So you would see would get let me reduce this so it becomes clear. So you would see we get um 79 this, and from the total quantity, so you can see this. So we can, if I choose not to use the measure and I decide to use the quantity, I'm still expected to get the same result, right? So but let me use the measure total quantity. So we have gotten um products, I mean total quantity sold by product category. So I'm going to rename this pivot table to click on pivot table, analyze, come over to pivot table, then rename this products, I mean total quantity by total quantity, total quantity by products category. So we click on OK. Let me see if I rename this. Okay, let me rename each of these pivot tables so you can do the same. So this is what's it called? Discount. Let me just say discount proportion. Say discount proportion. Right. So click on enter. I think I have given this name. Let me see. Okay. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's just do maybe one more. Right. Let's see which one we can do again. Okay, let's see how much each of these customers spent. Right. So we are going to do a customer, I mean total amount spent by customer. So whether it's the first customer or customer, maybe customer with ID, custom cost underscore zero for maybe if he was the one who is responsible for majority of the um 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 I mean amount that was generated, right? So I'm going to come over to the come over here and let me just select this and Control C, come somewhere below here and paste. Then I hit on my escape key. Then I select the pivot table. I'm just going to remove the transaction date, right? I'm bringing in customer ID. So so you can see it already arranges it from customer 1 to customer 25. right? So I think this is good for a start. So let me just rename this and say um, total spent, total amount spent by customer, total amount spent by customers. So we have done this. Now let's now begin designing our dashboard. So I'm going to add a new spreadsheet, right? I'm going to add a new sheet. So I'm going to click on this plus sign, right? And I'm going to just name this dashboard. So this is going to serve as our dashboard. Now, um, so I'm going to just create like the I mean the size of the dashboard I want. So I'm going to insert a shape, right? So I'm going to say insert, then you come under illustration, click on it and come over under shape, right? And now I'm going to insert, should I insert a square or should I insert this with a rounded? So let me insert a square, right? So I'm going to come over like this and just, um, so let me minimize this, right? Let me minimize this and let me just assume this is how our dashboard is going to look, right? And going to change the color to green, right? So let me choose green. No, this green is okay, let's use um, so let's use this one that's more like that, right? So this is going to serve as a dashboard. So let me just shift it somewhere at the middle. And something I'm going to do is to try to remove these all these lines, right? So I'm going to come to page layout, right? And I'm going to under this grid line, I'm going to select, I'm going to uncheck this view, right? So I don't want this grid line to be there, right? So that at least let me also see if I can do something and say headings. Let me see. Okay, so let's have something like this. So this we are going to um build this is going to serve as our dashboard, right? Now we have inserted a shape that is going to guide us on how we are going to position it. So I would love the top right hand side here to be our what's it called for our KPIs, right? And we are going to bring in values, right, for each of these KPIs. So for each of these KPI, I want us to input use shape for them. So I'm going to still come here and say insert. I'm going to say come to illustration, come to shape and just insert. Let me insert a rounded figure, right? I'm going to insert this. Let me just put it and so I'm going to insert. So I'm going to let me for duplicate this. Let me duplicate since we have 6 KPIs. I mean 5. Let me just duplicate in 6 places. Right, I'm going to still rearrange this. Um, so I think we have 5 KPIs, right? So now we have these 5 KPIs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So these are the KPIs we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what I'm now going to do now is this. So for this first one, I want this one to serve as maybe total amount spent. So I'm going to come on it and click. Then I'm going to click on equals to then I'm going to click on this formula bar, then click on equals to right. Then I come over to this and select this value, right? And I select define what's happening. Uh sorry. Let me okay. Okay. So let me okay, let me do this. So one thing I can also do, something I can also do is coming over to this, since this is giving a problem. I think you can't, I mean, do that for pivots. table. So I'm going to come over to this retail. So something I can do is under this where is for total spent, right? For total spent, I can so I can come to the last cell here and let me just put in a value here. Maybe to calculate the total, let me just see. So sum of let me just um escape go. So I want to calculate the sum. So the sum of um total spent, right? Let me see. So I have that value. So let me confirm it correlates with that 147. So the same thing, I'm going to do that for what's the next thing that happened? Total customer. Let me see. Between control escape. Okay. So I'm going to say equals to the extent. So I'm just going to basically do what I did there. Uh, sorry, count. Uh, hmm, what's this? Price per unit. Let me do for easier first. So equals to sum right of price per unit. No, average is supposed to be average. Supposed to be average. Right. So let me change this to average. Average. Right. Um. So average price per unit. Let me see. 23 point. Okay. Total quantity. So total transaction. Um. Total transaction. So this is going to be equals to total. So count um and the number of total transaction. Right, cover that, then enter and you count. Why is it giving me? So oh, so I can say count if uh, right uh don't want to write tax here, no. Do anything complex. Right. Let me delete this. So this is what I'm going to do now. I already have the values here. Where is under this analysis? So I already have the value. So this is something I'm going to do. I'm going to copy this guy. So let me just wait, so let me just Control C. Let me go Control. So right, I'm going to escape. So I've copied this guy. Now let me see if it's going to. So I'm going to double tap on this guy. Um, equals to right. Then come to this analysis. Select this guy. Right. Click on it. So I know it doesn't work with pivots. So since I've gotten that, I just uh wait. There's something with wait, let me see. There's something I want to do, right? Um, Instead of doing this, I can just say equals to this cell. And it's still going to be a pivot table. Wait, let me see this is a pivot table. Let me check something. Um, I want to check something. Equals to I want to see if it's going to throw up error. Right. Hmm, dashboard. I should have been analyzed. Okay, commit it. Now, let me see if this guy changes. Right, let me just Um, if I manually change this guy. Okay, now let me now change instead of this guy. So I'm going to explain what I'm trying to do, right? So the idea is so that in case if something new happens, you don't get to, I mean, edit, so the thing automatically refreshes, right? So I want to see if this is for total amount spent, right? Where's total amount spent? Total amount spent, total amount. So let me edit this measure. And let me, instead of using total amount spent, let me just do something like average. I want to check something. Um, average, average, right? Let me see. Let me check it first. Okay, let me see. Okay, okay. So let me check if this refreshes. Right, good. So now yes. So let me. I'm going to undo that. So what I did now here is when you want to build, when you want to use the pivots, when you want to do like for these KPIs, right? I want to put these values in each of these shapes. Now, you can't get the value directly from the pivot table, right? That was why it threw up that error. Right, so once you've gotten the value, another thing you can do, since you know this is the pivot table holding these values, one thing you can do is to ensure that these values, right, are replicated in maybe in another cell, right? Whenever there's a change. So I'm going to do the same thing for this guy. You can see manually the values is just being written there. So I'm going to just tell, I mean, these lines, all these values are going to automatically generate their value from this pivot table. So that even though there's any change happening here, it automatically fills it and that is automatically updated on the, I mean, dashboard. I don't know. Are we able to understand what I was trying to do? Okay, all right. Thank you for that, Tijani. Thank you for that. So I'm going to just do that. I'm going to come over back to this, what was it called? This total amount spent, and where's the measure? Come over here to correct the measure. So I'm going to come over to total amount spent and do the actual thing, change it from the average, which is it, to the actual sum, which is expected to be sum. Then I click on OK, then it's expected to update. So that is, so it should also update on the dashboard, right? So now for this analysis, I'm just also going to copy this guy. You see the 25 is just like a value, but for this one, it's fetching its data from this. So this 25, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to write equals to, then select the value for this pivot. So it gets the value. I'm just going to click on enter, it gets the value. I'm going to do the same thing for this guy. Equals to, get this value, click on enter. Do the same thing for this guy. Equals to, select this column, click on enter. For this guy, equals to get this value, click on enter. Right. So now this, Hey, can anyone hear? Hello, can anyone hear me now? Yeah, sorry. My laptop just I forgot to power it on and I got carried away. Maybe before it comes up, right? Can I think some of us are following. If you can just try sharing yours, let's see what level you have been able to follow while I put on my laptop. Sorry, please. Maybe let's use this period to just, if there are any questions or comments so far, maybe we can attend to that while my screen comes up.
So, thank you very much for the session. Please, I have a question. When we were, when you were creating the tables, like the separate pivot tables on each one, and we're naming them individually. Do we have to do that for everyone, or if we do like a normal save on Excel that we say Control S, will it work, or we have to save it individually?
Okay, yeah, thank you for that question. Actually, what weird if you should save once you create those pivot table and you click on Control S, it saves everything to the recent analysis or recent work you did. No, what I was doing then is not actually saving, it's just to give it a name. Right? You will see the need for that because when you want to when you build your dashboard, there's most times you apply filter, right? And you might want to just apply filter to specific visualization. If we don't rename that, we might not know which, I mean, pivot table is actually which one, right? But because you'll just be seeing pivot table two, and the likes, but you won't know what, I mean, information pivot table one is holding, what pivot table two is holding. So what I was just doing is to understand, okay, this pivot table, the name of it is or the information is holding is maybe total amount spent by product category, so that whenever I want to do the filtering, or I can know that, okay, this is the analysis or this is the pivot table I want to I'm making reference to. I don't know if
Yeah,
that is
yeah, that's clear. So I thought, because my system too is not, so I'm doing it from my phone now. So I was thinking that you were naming and you were saving them. So I didn't know that you were naming them. So it's clear now. Thank you very much.
you are welcome.
Yes.
Okay, so uh, let me so all right. So thank You can hear me. You can see me, right? Confirmation. You can see me. Oh, okay. Yeah, sorry for that. Just skip my mind plugging. So here's where we stopped at. Let me see. So like so the last thing we tried doing is trying to make sure each of these KPIs changes in once there's a new value, right? So I'm going to use this first dash. This first shape is going to be for um total amount spent. So the next one is going to be for total customers. So I'm just going to basically increase the size, right? Increase the size of the value of these values inside here. So I'm just going to highlight the values, right? And come over to let me see, come over to okay, the shape is okay. So let me just come over here to increase the font. Let me see how 20 looks like. Let me give it, let me see 24, right? So 24 is better. Let me put it at the center, right? Also align it, middle align. So, or let me put it at the, let me align it here because I want the name should be, the name of this information should be here. So let me make it bold, right? So I'll make it bold. I think I would want this color of these shapes to be white, right? So I'm going to change them to white, right? I'm going to change them to white. Let me change each of them to white, white, um, let me see, right. So let me change them to white, right? So, and the value is going, I'm going to change the value to, let me give it maybe the green, let me see, give it a green color. Um, let me see how this look. Uh, okay. So I'm going to, this is going to be for total amount spent. All right. So that's for total amount spent. So the next one is going to be for total customer. So I'm going to edit this. I'm going to remove this formula. Let me click. I'm going to first for, so what you do is you select the shape, right? Then you click on this formula bar, then click right equals to, you navigate to the sheet, right? Then select the value, then execute. So it has brought in the value. So I'm going to do the same thing for this, for other values. So this one will be for the third one. I'm going to say equals to, right? Select the sheet analysis, right? Then select the value, the third one, right? Then click on the check mark to execute. I'm going to do the same thing for this guy. Um, Click on equals to, right? Then select analysis and select the fourth one. Check on it, right? Then for the last one, click on the formula bar equals to, select analysis, right? Then select the last value, then check the mark and leave. So I'm going to give them the same value or the same. Let me just shift this guy here, right? Let me just rearrange them. Um, Let me see. Still need to reshape this. So let me move this guy. So this will be the last one. Um, so since this one is total customer, I could decide to reduce it. Average could decide to reduce this. Um, So these are the um, KPIs. So now let me format this. So let me just check what formatting was used here. So up to so 24. So let me do that for this guy. Let me change it to 24, right? And let me reduce the decimal place to, let me come over here, right? This guy, it's um average price per unit. Let me right click number format to um decimal. Let me see. Hmm, uh uh okay, reduce. Okay, so two decimal is two decimal point is okay, right? So let me see, equals to this guy, then execute. So this guy still needs to be formatted. Okay, so hopefully it should. Okay, so now going to position it at the center, right? Then position it below, then change it to green and make it bold, right? Then do the same thing for this guy. Then come over to home, change it to 24, right? And make it bold, change it to green, right? And position it at the center and below. I'm going to do the same thing for the rest. Come to home, change it to green, right? Make it bold, change it to 24, right? Position it at the center, then and align it below. Do the same thing for this last one. Then it's sat, right? And no, home, rather. Make it green, right? Make it bold, change the size to 24, and position at the center, align it below. So now it's looking okay now. So we are just going to add the text box that we are going to use to name what each of these stands for. So I'm going to click on insert, right? Then click on text. Where is text? Illustrate. Where is text? Uh, text. Yeah. So I'm going to click on text box, right? So I'm going to just draw something like this. All right. So I'm going to, the name of the first one is what? Total amount spent. So I'm going to say total amount spent. So I'm going to drag this guy up here, right? Let me, so I'm going to come to this shape, right? And don't want it to have shape fill, no fill. There should not be fill on it, right? Shape outline, no outline. I don't want any outline. So yeah, now I'm just going to make it bold. Just make it bold. Um, um so total amount spent. So I will just copy this, um, copy this guy, Control C, Control V, right? Put it for this guy, Control V again, place it for this guy, Control V, place it for this guy, um, Control V, place it for this guy. So now I'm now going to basically just edit them. So for the second one, the actual value is the one with 23.36 is average price per unit. So I'm going to come here, edit it and say average. So I'm just going to use the short form price per unit, right? Then this one is total, I mean, total customers, right? I could just say number of customers, right? Number of customers, right? It's let me just reduce the font a little bit down, right? Let me see if 10.10.9. Okay, let me see expanding that. Okay, the number of customers. Then 11362 is total transaction. I mean, so I'm going to come here, right? Let me delete that. Total total transaction total transaction or number of transactions, right? Let me see. Um, number of transaction, number of transactions. So let me reduce the font, highlight it, then before I reduce it, let me try to see if I can, if enlarging this is going to, okay. So just repositioning this, right? Then for the last one, which is total quantity sold, I'm going to come over here and say um, total quantity, total quantity. Let me enlarge this, right? Total quantity sold, total quantity sold. So we are done with our KPIs, right? And one of the things that we might want to also do, right? Let me see, control this and select this guy is to come over here, right? You wouldn't want situations whereby if I drag one, right, everything, I mean, moves away. So you can try to group them. So you just select, click on the first one, the first shape, then you hold on your control, click on the second one. Now you see both are selected. So I'm going to click on shape format, then come to this group, right, and say group. Now it becomes a single element. So once I drag this, I drag both together, right? So that's one of the things we will need to do so that we don't make when we try to when we want to resize these things. So I'm going to do the same thing for everything. I click on the first one, hold on control, click on the next one, come over to shape format, click on group, right? So we are going to do the same thing for everything. Click this, hold on control, click on this, shape format, then group, right? So we are going to do the same thing for all of them. Average price per unit, hold control, click on this other shape, come to shape format, click on group, right? And do the same thing for the last one. Hold on this one, hold on control, click on the shape, then click on shape format, then click what? Group. Right. Another thing we might want to do is to, since we've grouped them together, I mean individually, we cannot try to see group them together as KPIs, right? We can try to do that. But let's, I mean, leave that for now. So we have done, we've positioned our KPI, which we want to be at the top. Another thing we want to do now is let's try to bring in, we are done with KPI. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to create visualization out of this. Now, when you are creating visualization, there are things to note. Now, when you are creating, now we have categorical values and numerical values. Some of the visualization that is a go-to, right? It's a pie chart, right? A bar chart, right? We could also see line chart, but line chart is used to show trend when you have time series analysis, like maybe by date, when you have dates involved, any dates, I mean, label involved, be it day of the month, day of the week, by quarters or the likes, or by year. So you use a line graph for that kind of visualization, right? And when you have categorical values and numerical values, you could use a pie chart. But whenever the value is beyond 4, right, it's don't use a pie chart. And I'll tell you why. Okay, let's assume we want to use a pie chart for this. I mean, this total spent by month. So if I select this chart and I click on insert, right, and I click on pie chart and I click on this, now you can see what is happening. The essence of a visualization is to easily understand what is happening. Now I can't even know which one is the highest, which one is the biggest, which one is the highest out of it, because almost some of the sectors of these pie charts are looking the same, right? But now imagine if it looks like, let me say, come over to this guy and say, no, where is it? Should be on that format. Is it format or this design? Yes. Then I say I want to change it and I decide to use, let me say something. Let me just say, imagine I use this, right? You can see that even though you can easily still see that there's one that is outstanding, you can see which one is more than the other. So one of the things to notice, even though you have categorical values and you have numerical values, don't fall into the category of data analyst who is going to be using a pie chart to do this comparison of visualize. So whenever you know the categories are more than 4, your best go-to is using a bar chart, right? So don't just shift from using a pie chart to using a bar chart. Now, should I leave this? No, I'm going to delete this because that's not what, now for this row label, since I have 3 different rows, so I can decide to use a pie chart, right? So, but before I do that, I'm going to let me remove the grand total, right? Let me just remove where is it? Remove grand total, right? I don't want to see the grand. So I'm now going to select this, the pivot table, and select insert, right? Then come over to pie charts and select. You can choose to select a 2D or 3D, but let me choose this 2D, right? And I'm going to select the 2D. Um, so I want the data label to be included. So one of the things to do is to click on this chart element. Let me select the data label. So, and you can still format it where you want it to be. Let me see, inside, outside end will be better, right? So, and let me select outside end. Now, what does a pie chart shows? Pie chart shows proportion, right? Now, this, but you can see this is just telling us the numbers. So what I'm going to do is we are going to the same thing we did for, where was the guy? False and true, by showing how many percentage of the total, is attributed to maybe cash, credit card, and digital wallet. I'm going to come over to this total amount spent, right? Click on it, then come over to value field settings, right? Or I can even maybe from here, right? If I click on this, if I click on this guy, click on this column, right? So I can see show value as, right? So I can just see percentage of grand total, right? So you can see that cash has 34.8. At least this is more presentable. At least we know this the sector with the blue attributes more. So that's another thing we can do. So we can also format the what's it called, the color, right? You can format the color. So and so we've plotted this guy. Let me remove, because we're putting this in our dashboard. So I'm going to delete this guy. So I'm going to remove this guy. Yeah. Oh, not what I wanted to do. Control Z. Control Z. So I don't want to. I want to just remove. I don't want to see. So chart title. No, I don't want chart title. Right. Okay. Maybe I will need that. Legend data. Um. Let me see under this design. Okay. Let me rename this to, this is total spent, total amount spent by. So let me rename this first. So total amount spent, total amount spent by, let me see, by payment method. So going to come over here. Um, let me even see. Data label is needed. Legend, under legend. Let me see more options. Uh, so legend will overlapping the charts. Let me see what this does. Mm. So text option. So these are ways. These are other options you can also do. I want to also, let me select this guy. So I want to also try to change the um color, right? Let me see. I want to change the color of this um for this guy. Let me see. There should be it. No, vary by slice. Uh, gradient fill for this first one. I want no, not what I want. So let me select the sector, and I wanted a green. Ctrl Z. Uh, so let me use this for that sector, for that particular one. Which one is higher? Uh, let me see how this looks. Okay. Then digital, for digital. So let me select one that is somehow lighter, and then for this last one, and for this last guy, I'm going to select let me select this. Right. So you can choose a better color. So so I can just basically, let me copy this, no, or cut Control X, right? Then I come over to dashboard and paste Control V. So this is what I have. I'm going to, let me resize this. I still need to remove. Wait, let me select this guy. I don't want this guy. Um, don't want this guy showing here, right? Don't want him showing. Hide, hide. Where is it? Um, there's the option. Select the entire chat, right? Then text option. Let me say I don't want a fill on this interface. So let me for remove. I don't want that white interface, right? And this, let me see how does it look. I don't want this. Um, let me see. Hmm, Let me say solid line. We can. Okay. So this is better. Uh, so where's this guy? So I just hope we are following. Want to just hope we are following. A couple of things I want to remove here. Okay. Pending that, let me just do let me add visualization for this one. So this one is going to be a time series. We are going to use a line chart for this guy. Remember, I said line chart is used when you know that you have dates like values. So this month of the year is date. So when you want to see the trend, if there's a okay. All right. So I'm going to come over to insert. All right, come over to insert. Then for this particular one, I want to insert. I'm going to insert a line chart. Right, so I'm going to insert. You can choose to use maybe this kind of chart, but I'm going to just use the normal chart, right? And no, I'm going to select this chart, right? And should I? You can use a bar chart. You can use this line chart. At least you can see that there is a drop. The highest was in January, but after January, it seems there was a steep, right, in the second month, and things seems to be normal on the long run. So I'm going to remove. Okay, let me remove this total. I don't want the total. Remove grand total, right? So I don't want the grand total. I don't even want this legend. Legend is not adding anything to the value, right? And axis tied to, I don't want that guy. Um, where are you? So we already have, so this is going to be amount spent by, total amount spent by, total amount spent by month, right? So let's just make, since you have been using something around green, so we are going to stick with that color. And let me just cut this, Control X, then move to the dashboard and paste it. Right, then I'm going to come over here and let me just reshape this guy. And where is the axis? Oh my, this vertical, horizontal, vertical. Right. Um, then for the data label, let me just put in. No, this is looking mess. So axis, let me just put that back. Let me see what is obtainable in more options. Uh, width, let me undo this 0.5, right? And so for the shape, I don't want to fill, so no fill, right? And no line, not for this one. Uh, okay, there is a value there. Let me check the value back. Axis type, axis. Let me check this back. And for this guy, there shouldn't be line, no line, right? For this one, no line. So let me just put this guy below here. Uh, 1, 2. So let me see how many visualization we still have left. We've done 2, 1, 2. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 to go. And so this guy, I'm going to use a bar chart for this guy. So insert, um, there's a bar chart. Let me use hmm, so I want to use a bar chart. I want to use this type, right? And click on OK. So I can uh let me remove the total from them. Um, Remove grand total. So Control X, come to the dashboard, Control V, right? What happened? Something just happened. Control Z. Okay, wait on, wait on something. Okay, and come over here. I inserted this guy. Right, then okay. Control X, come over here. Control V. Okay. So for it, we don't want any fill. Right. Let's change the color to um the green we use sticking with. Right, and let me see. Um what is yeah, let me see. Also need to we could make these ones bold. Right, you can make it bold and the likes. So let's just populate this dashboard and the color. Let's we're using I think we're using green before. No, it wasn't this. Wait, let me see which green this guy. Um, okay, so let's stick to the same color of green for the dash for the borders. So so we're stitching the background color to something ash, right, to bring out the color well. Uh, I mean, don't want hmm, don't want it. Um, what was it called? I thought I dropped. I removed the total out of it. All right, I removed the total. So let me remove the total for each of these. So remove grand total. Right. I'm not interested in the grand total for each of. So remove grand total. Um, okay, that's it for it. So let me also add the visualization for this. I think it's remaining three. So this one, I'm going to use a bar chart for this. Right, insert. Let me use a bar. Right, and even though a line, let me see how a line looks like. Uh, let me see how a line looks like. Okay, okay, let's use the line chart. So little formatting before we um move it to this color. You could make the width 2.5, right? And we can make the smooth line, right? And make it a smooth line. Um, Something else we can do is let me see what's that mean. No, solid line, right? Uh, let me see. Move this guy. Let me see. Okay. Uh, grid lines. I want all these grid lines. So let me just copy this guy, Control C, no, Control X. I come over to this dashboard and Control V. Let me also remove grid lines for all this guy. Yes, I don't want grid lines there. Same thing for this guy. Let's remove the grid lines and make this guy smooth edge. Let me see how smooth edge is going to look. Make it 2.5, right? Smooth line, rather. So it has little or no. Um, so this one, let me rename this to amount spent by total amount spent by day let's leave it at this. Then I'm going to remove the back color, so there shouldn't be any. So I'm going to uncheck this. So put it somewhere here. So we are definitely going to change the color of this background to something let's say maybe ash in color or thereabout. So we have done 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So remaining this and this. So this one I'm going to insert a pie chart. So insert pie charts, right? Pie charts, and we are going to also try to change the color for each of these. So I'm going to use this dark, this green. Then for this sector, I'm going to use a lighter one, right? Let me use let me see, let me use this one. Then for this part, I'm going to use, okay. Let me see how this looks. Okay, so let me use this. Then Control X. Then come over here and Control V. Right, so no fill for them, no fill, and I'm going to resize this guy. Right, now this guy is going to uh going to reduce this style. So this is something basic, right? So the arrangements 1, 2, no, Control Z. That's not what I intended. Okay. Let me bring this guy up here. Then this guy is somewhere here. Let me just keep it somewhere. And I think the last one is going to be a bar chart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it's going to be a bar chart. Insert, then let's use a bar chart. Right. Bar chart. So okay. Then the colors, and first of all remove the grid lines, right? Then for the colors, make it the green we are using, and let me just cut it and move to the dashboard, then paste it, Control V. Right, no, it's replaced this, Control Z, Control Z. Oh, let me see. Okay, now Control X, come over here, Control V, then no fill, right? And no field. Then so this should be here. Let me let me close this guy first. Let me close this guy first. So another thing we are going to do before I um let me try to extend the shape somehow um a bit longer. It even needs to be um let me say wider, right? And so for it, let me now group these three guys. I'm going to hold control. Let me select these KPIs and group them as a whole. So I'm going to group them together so I can easily maybe send this guy backward. So I want to send this shape backward. It's um so it's at the back of everything. So I'm going to shift this guy. So make this extend this one a little bit and include data labels. Right. The data label should be um um no data collapse. Um outside and right outside and okay. So only to be outside and right. So this one extend sheet. Reduce. So let me resize this guy, then bring this line chart into somewhere in between here. Alright, and so I'm going to let this chart take over the uh this total guy, leader guy. Uh, okay. So what I'm going to do as we round up is now to just insert maybe one or two slicer and see how we can connect them to each of the visualization. Right. So I'm going to insert a slicer. Before doing that, let me make sure the borders for each of these um, charts are actually something we can always do instead of using this is to bring in the same way we used shape for this is to build a template, use shape to cover the area you want each of the visualization to be. That's something we can do. So lastly, let me just insert slicer. So I'm going to come over to insert rather than I'm going to come to slicer and I'm going to click on slicer. All right, click on slicer. Then what's this guy doing? So insert slicer. Insert uh slicer. All right, then which slicer do I want to? So slicer is basically for categorical values that you can use to filter. Right. So one of the things we can do is to try to bring in items, right? So you might want to filter by item. So click on OK. So you have the slicer, you cut it and move it to the your dashboard. Placing active content such as those kind of content of I don't know why this is showing me this which uh what's the problem with this? Control Z, where's my slide? Because the connection have been blocked. Oh, it's not that was I was getting that warning. I didn't even control X. Also didn't bring it up. Mr. Man, what's the problem? Control. What's wrong with this data source insert? Application contain connect to an external source. Ensure that the source cannot be used to access conditions available. Click OK, trust this. Okay, Mr. Man. So I want to insert this. So from this, I'm going to click on data model. Right, click on data model, then select this, then click on open, then select item. All right, then I click on OK. So it adds it to this interface, so I can resize this guy. So just resize it. Let me see, slicer. So let me use this color, right? Since that's something we have been using, and so maybe one more slicer, then we connect it to this. So insert another. So let me insert slicer and data model. Select open. Right. Location. Okay, we have already location. So my want. Let me just put a transaction date. So transaction date. Okay. So and just transaction date slicer. Right. Let's change it to this color. Right, and just bring it in here. um Let me see. Slicer. um um so let me now show us how to connect it. So we have added to slicer. Now if you see, if I select item one, but it's not having any connection to this. If I select this, it's not doing anything. So the way you do that is to connect it to any of these visualization is you select the slicer that is involved, come over to slicer at the top right, click on it, then you come to this report connection, right? So you click on it. Now you can see, right? You can see the reason why I said we decided to name that. If I hadn't given them this name, right? If I just, you would be seeing pivot table one, pivot table two, this and this, and you want to know which is which. So this is to tell you, in case if you are just interested in, since I know this is item, right? And I'll just need to now say, okay, let me see, connect it to discount proportion, right? Let me connect it to KPIs. Let me connect it to total amount spent, right? Let me connect it to, but I'll connect it to all the pivot tables, right? The ones I'm done, I click on OK, right? So it loads, and you can see it has already started. Trying to filter because this is happening. So if I click on item but one, so you see it tries to, changes the values you see. So let me scroll down again and select item 16 milk. So you see the value is this interactive, right? So, but if I click transaction date, nothing is going to happen because I haven't connected that. So the same way you click on it, select slicer, right? Then come to report connection. You can specify, so I can decide not to choose discount proportion and just choose other things. If I should select any date peculiar to, trying to filter, right, it won't, have effect on any pivot table I didn't select. So I'm just going to select everything. All right, the ones I'm done, I click on OK. So that once so you see, there wasn't any transaction made on that day, right? There wasn't any transaction made on that day. So you can, if I click on this, maybe there wasn't transaction made on that day. So I'm just going to clear the filters. So I'm just going to click on this and clear all the filter. I'm also going to clear all the filter for this one so that we have something like this. So let me just um try to change the color of this. So I'm going to, let me see if there is a better, let me see how this looks. No. So that doesn't look good. This was what we were using before. So let me see. Let me see how this guy looks. So just let me see, for the purpose of this, right? I would want to leave it. No, this is hot. I'm going to leave it as how is this? Let me leave it as this guy first. Right, let me leave it as this guy. So, and one thing we can just do as we uh is to just put a title, right? Since this is a sales analytics, so I'm just going to come to insert. All right, then click on text. Right, I'm going to say text box, but I can for insert a shape so that it covers the. So come over to insert illustration, then a shape. Right, let me choose. Square. Then it's going to be from here. Right. So this is going to be for the title, right? And it's going to, let me change the color to light green, right? And going to say, let me now insert, let me still insert a text box, right? Let me insert text box on it, and I'm going to type sales sales retail sales analyst, right? Retail sales analytics analysis, let me say analysis, right? Just going to make it bold, right? Try to increase the font size. Let me see what 16 looks like. 18, what about 20? Okay, I think I, okay, let me stick at 24, right? And let me stick at 24. So we're already done. Right, already done, and make it, let me center it and also put it at the middle. So I'm going to, last thing I'm going to do is to remove the fill. No, don't want any fill on for it. Want it to retain that of the shape we did and also no outline. So I have retail sales analytics. So you can just recite, you can just move this up. Right, then below it you could see if you have an icon you can add to it by using the insert icon. Then I'm just going to copy this again, Control C, Control V, right? Come and put it below. Then I want to just put the name, right? You can just put your name then by let me see let me just say Emmanuel, right? Then this for this I'm going to reduce the font size, make it, let me see, 18. Let me see how it looks like. So depending on whatever you want, you can uh so this I'm going to say by retail sales analysis by Emmanuel. And so this is just something basic, at least for a start. There's more that can be done to better all this, to fine tune things. And but for a start, I think this is something you can do, and you can still try to fine tune things. And when you are done, you can, I think you can always try to export as a PDF. And I think it's via printing. Uh, so in case if you want to, let me say Adobe. So if you want to save as a PDF, right? I think you come here and say, I think fit all on one page. I just hope that's the option to make it as a PDF. And wait, let me orientation first, landscape. Uh, so you can to export as a PDF. So it's still let me see. There was an option to pitch it on one page. It's uh okay. So I think this, so it's fit it on one page. Then once you are done, you can now export it, but you can make things better, right? So something someone can do is, instead of using this outright white, right, is to use something maybe ash in color or the likes. So we are already at 3 minutes, I mean, behind schedule. So I think we are going to be stopping here and to entertain questions or comments so far from what has been done. Yeah, thank you.
Um, all right. Mr. Emmanuel, are you finally done? Mr. Emmanuel, are you here with me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, so thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel. This is wonderful and insightful. And I believe that every one of us we've learned one or two things, and we're able to understand how to approach data sets, how to analyze it, and how to visualize then dashboard. I don't think we'll be able to um, work on the reporting. I think there should be a report for this retail sales analysis, right, Mr. Emmanuel? But then time will not permit us. Am I right? There should be a report for it.
Yes, definitely. Report is basically you, I mean, narrating your insight and
Yeah.
that.
Okay. Yeah. So, do we have anyone who have any question regarding this dashboard? Or probably you think that there are other insights that we might also look into. You might, you can try to um, text that in the chat box if there's other insights you think we can look into. Or then at your end, since you practice along, at your end you can also add those insights to your own dashboard. All right, so we'll come to the end of um this workshop. We have come to the end of this workshop, and I can tell you that personally, as the host, I'm also a data analyst. And no, the way I met Mr. Emmanuel is is divine. Mr. Emmanuel was actually my roommate during the last this DSN bootcamp um, program at Lagos University of Unilag, and it was now nice having him as my new roommate, and I really learned a lot from him, and that is how we built the relationship even up to now. Yeah. Yes. Can we have recording, please? Yes, it is recorded. We are going to post the um we are going to post it on the group, and or if we don't post it on the group, then you can actually go to our YouTube page to go and rewatch the recording video. Yes, you can just go to our YouTube page to rewatch it. Yes, it's actually recorded. All right. Any other question? Any other question? Okay. Mr. Enoch, are you here? Mr. Enoch, are you here? Mr. Enoch, are you here? Okay. All right. So, just a quick one, just to introduce the community that hosts today's program. Um, Cratadel is an organization, and what we are currently doing is just a community part of Cratadel, where we bring like minds together, those into tech and entrepreneurial, you know, come together to learn about tech and entrepreneurship, you know, just to build an ecosystem of tech and entrepreneurship like-minded people. All right. So we would love to have you guys in our community, and um, at the end of this program, we are going to drop our community WhatsApp link to the group, exec workshop group, so you can do it to join. We have other important information to drop um, on the group. So there's a lot of impactful and insightful updates we have for you guys. So it doesn't end here. We have a lot to give back. Yes, we are a community that give back impact. So we have a lot to give back to you guys. So please, immediately we drop the community WhatsApp group, we love you to join the group so that you can stay updated, and subsequently you will get to know us more. And there are other workshops coming up. We have other workshops, webinars, seminars, podcasts, a lot of events coming up, and which will be impactful for you, and it will be nice if you can join the community. All right. So can we all, with our beautiful emoji, can we just appreciate Mr. Emmanuel for this wonderful um 2 days intensive workshop training? Can we just appreciate him with our beautiful emojis? Let me look for mine. Oh yeah, let's shower him with beautiful emojis. Oh, let's shower him, shower him, shower him, shower him, shower him. All right, thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel. We are grateful to have you, and I believe that anytime we call on you again, you'll be willing to respond to us and take up our call, right, Mr. Emmanuel? Right, Mr. Emmanuel?
No problem, sir.
Thank you very much for this. Um, we are going to stop here tonight. Please do well to okay, also please, for everyone that participated, like you did the dashboard, you created your own dashboard. Please, I want you all, we are going to drop our LinkedIn page on the group as well. All right. So I want you all to know, if you are on LinkedIn, I want you to tag Cratadel. All right, tag Cratadel and just share your experience about the workshop. All right, so we are going to drop our social media handle, our LinkedIn, Instagram, and the likes. We are going to drop it. So on your LinkedIn, most especially LinkedIn, post your dashboard, tag Cratadel, and express your knowledge, express what you've learned so far, and tag Cratadel, and as well tag your trainer, Mr. Emmanuel is on LinkedIn. Tag him as well and appreciate him. Thank you very much for this, for joining us, and we appreciate you. Now, Mr. Enoch, are you here again? Let me hear from him. Mr. Enoch, are you here?
All right. Good evening, everyone. I believe Mr. Sam has done justice to everything I wanted to say, and it's a very good opportunity that we've had these past 2 days to have learned Excel, the basics, and the videos are going to be available for us on YouTube. We are going to be sending the link by tomorrow. Yeah, by tomorrow we should have the link for the first class which we held yesterday. So, and then to everybody learning, I just want to advise us. This can be a start of a new career for you. Please take it serious. And on the WhatsApp group, we are committed to providing more support. If you have any questions, you can do well to drop it there. It's going to be responded to. Yeah. So thank you very much for being a part of this 2 days workshop, and I hope that you've learned a lot. So thank you, everyone, and have a wonderful night rest.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good night, everyone.
All
All
right,
right,
good
good
night,
night.
everyone. So, Enoch.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.